There is no fool who is disowned by his family. No man can outwit their ancestors. You always learn a lot more when you lose than when you win. A man's ruin lies in his tongue. The heart of the wise man lies quiet like limpid water. Teeth do not see poverty. A family is like a forest. When you are outside it is dense. When you are inside you see that each tree has its place. If you pick up one end of the stick you also pick up the other. Little by little the bird builds its nest. A single bracelet does not jingle. When there is peace in the country, the chief does not carry a shield. Supposing doesn't fill the grain basket, it doesn't fill the larder. The one nearest to the enemy is the real leader. He who earns calamity eats it with his family. He who thinks he is a leader and has no one following him is only taking a walk. When the shepherd comes home in peace, the milk is sweet. Wisdom is like a baobab tree, no one individual can embrace it. If a blind man says he will throw a stone at you, he probably has his foot on one. He who fears the sun will not become chief. A bridge is only repaired when someone falls into the water. Rain does not fall on one roof alone. Family names are like flowers, they blossom in clusters. Coffee and love taste best when hot. A woman is never old when it comes to the dance she knows. All errors are amendable. You cannot force water up a hill. Love for something makes a man blind and deaf. A man who uses force is afraid of reasoning. A husband with a good wife will never be on the road without supplies. We desire to bequeath two things to our children. The first one is roots, the other one is wings. Ingratitude is sooner or later fatal to its author. It is not the cook's fault when the cassava turns out to be hard and tasteless. Every door has its key. Rain does not fall on one roof alone. When you follow in the path of your father, you learn to walk like him. A fully grown tree cannot be bent into a walking stick. If you educate a man, you educate one individual, but if you educate a woman, you educate a family. Words are sweet, but they never take the place of food. One arrow can knock down an elephant. If a woman doesn't love you, she calls you brother. Confiding a secret to an unworthy person is like carrying grain in a bag with a hole. A bird that flies from the ground onto an anthill does not know that it is still on the ground. Only a wise person can solve a difficult problem. A bridge is repaired only when someone falls into the water. Discord between the powerful is a fortune for the poor. If relatives help each other, what evil can hurt them? A wise person will always find a way. No matter how big a child is, he cannot deny that he was once carried on the back of a woman. An empty pot makes the loudest noise. A tree does not move unless there is wind. A fool cannot untie the knot tied by a wise man. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside cannot harm. He who cannot dance will say, the drum is bad. The friends of our friends are our friends. When an old man dies, a library is burned with him. The old woman looks after the child to grow its teeth, and the young one, in turn, looks after the old woman when she loses her teeth. You learn how to cut down trees by cutting them down. The words of the elders become sweet someday. A woman is a flower in a garden, her husband is the fence around it. He who doesn't clean his mouth before breakfast always complains that the food is sour. Rising early makes the road short. Never marry a woman who has bigger feet than you. If you do not have patience, you cannot make beer. It's better to fall from a tree and break your back than to fall in love and break your heart. A mother cannot give birth to something bigger than herself.